All right, that is Ultimate Vault Hunter rank 5 with basically no gear on. Yo guys, what is up? Max on our Borderlands 4 video, and today we're going over what I think is the strongest weapon in Borderlands 4 that I haven't heard anyone talk about, use, or like mention. It is a random purple Maliwan shotgun that is doing what the Kickballer is doing with 0 of the self-harm or self-damage. It one-shots all of the bosses with 0 gear. It is just ridiculous. It is incorporating some of the same tech of the Kickballer. We're going to be breaking down everything you guys need to know. Before we dive into the video, huge credit to the viewer who sent me this gun, Shadow. He told me about this, so big props to him. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Let's get right into it. So if you haven't seen it, there's a legendary Maliwan shotgun called the Kickballer that if you roll it with a Jacob's part and use some like things to make it crit and give it some extra chances to bounce around, it basically just nukes the entire screen. To give you a quick example, it does that. It'll keep bouncing and bouncing and bouncing until basically whatever you shoot at is dead. However, even with like gear to prevent yourself from dying, it is very, very likely that you one-shot yourself. I'll show you the gear that I'm wearing right now. But even with things like the Onion Shield, which give you on armor segment break immunity, even using like the Blood Analyzer to give you immunity to multiple elements, if the gun does enough damage to one-shot you, it will one-shot you. It won't like break your individual shields, so you like technically have to find one or like deal less damage to not kill yourself. And even then, I still, when I was messing around with it, still killing myself like 85% of the time. However, the tech that this gun is benefiting from seems to be I don't know it exactly, just spitballing, guessing here, similar to what the Recursion was doing, where on ricochets it's creating additional projectiles instead of basically ricocheting the initial projectile. All of the ricochets are creating additional projectiles. And basically, we can get this, which does all this big explosion damage, in a purple variant where it doesn't do any of the big AoE and we can't kill ourselves, but it does all of the damage. And that is the Quincunx Stellium. Now, Quincunx does not mean that you get the right parts for this. I have multiple of these Quinxes that I've picked up. I mainly use them for beam tossers. They can roll the beam tosser, but what you want on these is the energy disc. Launches a bouncing energy disc. This functions the same way that the Kickballer does. It's a Maliwan projectile that ricochets, and then if you roll it with the Jacob's ricochet part, that means you're going to get the same effect of getting a Jacob's part on a Kickballer with none of the downsides. If we shoot this thing now, hit it with a crit knife. You do need a crit knife. It'll do all of its damage, but in a very, very concentrated area where we run 0 risk of us killing ourselves. And as you saw from the intro, it'll one-shot bosses without gear on. For the build that I was rocking, not that it really matters, but I was using basically our Splash and Dash Rafa build. The big points here are getting Barrage for more splash damage, Tamario for more gun damage. We don't need to put a point into Saltado. 2 out of 1 doesn't really do anything for us. But this gives us a ton of overdrive bonuses. On this particular setup, this will give us like 175% splash damage. And then we go through Blue Tree to pick up Jacques, which gives us a bunch of more overdrive bonuses. That's going to give us crazy amounts of splash damage, crazy amounts of gun damage. And we actually can benefit from First Impression, so that when we shoot the first disc, it's going to get our 50% gun damage. That is really the setup. Technically, you can use like Bullet Buddy Deluxe and use like Metal Management, but nothing's going to take really more than 1 shot. So kind of redundant. Now, Rafa's definitely particularly good with this weapon. However, you should be able to do it on any single character. The things that you're going to need are a Maliwan shotgun. I don't even think it needs to be purple. As long as it rolls with an energy disc and a Jacob's part, you should be good to go. That's going to allow the energy disc to like multiple bounce and repeat. You do need a crit knife, and that's about it. Crit knife and this weapon. I know that's not easy to get. These things, these purple rolls, are a byproduct of the licensed part system, where any weapon can roll basically any random part from any manufacturer. And it creates these really cool random combos, we are kind of knew going in that like there's no way that the system was going to be totally balanced because it's literally infinite possibilities. And this particular possibility seems to break the game. If you are looking to farm this shotgun, or you're looking to farm the like vivisecting or penetrator knife, I strongly recommend you farm for a legendary for your build that you are looking for, and just looking at the purples while you're doing it. Splash Zone is a great farm for purples. However, drop rates in this game can be tricky. They can be tough. And if you spend 12 hours killing one enemy that you need 0 of the legendaries for, and then you don't get the purple you're looking for, it's going to be pretty frustrating. So if, for example, you need to farm like a dancer class mod, or maybe you want to farm a Phosphine Hot Slugger, or you want to farm the 7 Cents, go out and farm the weapon that you need for the build, and just make sure you're checking for purples. It is all just luck at the end of the day. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.